Jai Hind, dear children. Welcome to biology class. Last class we have discussed about the accumulation of variation during reproduction, traits and its types, that is inherited traits and acquired traits, heredity, genetics, and a brief history of Gregor Johann Mendel, who is known as the father of genetics. So today we can discuss about Mendel's experiments on garden pea plant. Last class when we have discussed about Mendel, we just mentioned about his work on Pisum sativum, that is garden pea plant. So today we can study about the experiments done by Mendel on Pisum sativum or garden pea plant and the laws of inheritance of characters developed by Mendel. Mendel conducted experiments in garden pea plant continuously for 8 years and made so many generations of pea plants. He studied the inheritance of each characters of pea plants generation after generation and developed the principles of inheritance of characters. And there are three laws. He developed three laws of inheritance. They are law of dominance, law of segregation, and law of independent assortment. Now, let us study how Mendel conducted these experiments in the pea plants and how he developed these laws of inheritance. Do you know why Mendel selected this Pisum sativum for doing his experiments? He selected this garden pea plant because of some of its special characters or features. It was easy to grow and only a little care is needed for its growth. It had a short life cycle and it was possible to produce more number of generations and can easily study them or the inheritance of characters. The most important feature is that it has easily detectable or visible contrasting characters by which he studied the inheritance of characters in each generation. It has bisexual flowers. What is bisexual flowers? The flowers that contains both the male reproductive structure and female reproductive structure. So self-pollination is possible in these flowers. But then also cross-pollination also can be done easily in these flowers to make hybrids. And the other feature is each plant produce more number of seeds in each generation. So it will make him easy to conduct the experiments. So from these contrasting characters of pea plant, Mendel selected 7 contrasting characters, each having 2 visible distinguishing traits. From the contrasting characters, Mendel selected 7 visible characters, each having 2 contrasting traits. What do you mean by contrasting characters? The characters which appear in 2 opposing conditions. For example, the pea plant itself produces violet flowers and as well as white flowers. So the flower color is the character. It produces 2 traits. It has 2 traits. So that are the contrasting characters. So the 7 contrasting characters Mendel selected for doing his experiments are the flower color, the position of the flower on the stem, the height of the plant, the seed shape, the seed color, the pod color, and the shape of the pod. These are the 7 characters Mendel selected for doing his experiments on pea plant. Now, before studying the Mendel's experiments, you should be familiar with some terms related to genetics, such as alleles, genotype, phenotype, recessive genes, dominant genes, monohybrid cross, dihybrid cross, parental generations, filial generations, etc. First, we can study about the alleles. As all of you know that genes are the unit of inheritance of characters, and these genes are present in the chromosomes in each and every cell in our body. So this is a cell. Inside the cell, the nucleus is present. This inside the nucleus, what are there? The chromosomes are present. So inside the nucleus, the chromosomes are seen as thread-like structures, and these are called as, we call it as the chromatids. Chromatid or chromatin material. So at the time of cell division, if it is in the thread-like structure, the cell division is not possible. So at the time of cell division, what happens? This thread-like chromatids coils like this and condenses to form the structures like this, and these are called as chromosomes. These are called as chromosomes. We know that in these chromosomes, genes are present. So, genes are located in this chromosomes. We uncoil the chromosomes. We can see it as double-stranded structure. You can see this double-stranded structure, and this double-stranded structure contains DNA molecules. Double-stranded structure contains DNA molecules. The chromosomes contains DNA molecules arranged like this, and a segment of DNA molecules, we call it as the genes. And these genes are responsible for the production of certain particular proteins by which some characters can be expressed. So, in a chromosomes, these genes may be present here, and these genes contains the DNA molecules which can code for a particular proteins that is responsible for expressing a particular character in an organism. Now, if we take the humans as example, how many chromosomes does the humans have? There are 46 chromosomes in a human cell. See in this picture, you can see the chromosomes in humans. See, there are 46 number of chromosomes, but we can see they are seen in pairs. See, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 23 pairs of chromosomes are there. Different types of chromosomes are. See, this is a pair of chromosomes. Two chromosomes are there. They are seen in pairs. So like this, 23 pairs of chromosomes are. And the organisms in which the chromosomes are seen in pairs are called as diploid organisms. So in an individual, in a diploid individual or a diploid organism, the chromosomes are seen in pairs, and each chromosomes in a pair. One chromosome is from father or male individual, and the other chromosome in that pair is from mother or female individual. In case of plants also, male flower and male organ and from the female part of the organ. So that forms the pair of chromosomes which is received from the father. It contains the genes responsible for the genes which expresses the father's characters. And this chromosome, which is from the female organism, which contains the genes from the female organism or the mother. So, this pair of chromosomes are having the genes from both the parents, and these chromosomes are having the genes of both the characters of father and mother. Here, this is a gene. This is another gene. This is another gene. So, the chromosome which got from the father contains the genes. And each of these genes will be responsible for each character. So, this chromosome contains these 3 genes. And these chromosomes also contain these genes. Now, these genes may be responsible for some of the father's character, maybe eye color, and this may be hair color, and this may be expressing the height. Okay, so these characters, eye color, hair color, height, these characters will be expressed, will be shown by this chromosomes carries the genes which expresses the eye color, hair color and height. And the chromosome which is received from the mother, it also having the same type of genes which shows the eye color, hair color and height. So like this, these 23 pairs of chromosomes contains the genes which contains the DNA molecules which can code the proteins for each characters. Like that, thousands of genes are present in the human chromosomes which are responsible for expressing each characters. Like humans, Pisum sativum or the garden pea plant is also a diploid organism which contains the chromosomes in pairs. They present 14 number of chromosomes in Pisum sativum. They are seen in 7 pairs. Here you can see an enlarged structure of a pair of chromosome in Pisum sativum or garden pea plant. What can you see here? You can see these colored structures, isn't it? What are these structures supposed to? They are the genes. They are the genes present in the chromosomes. So, in this pair, this is from the female parent and this chromosome will be from the male parent. Okay. So, both these chromosomes are of same size and structure. And the important thing is the genes responsible for the characters present in both the chromosomes are same. See, this gene is responsible for the expression of height, and this is for the flower color, and this is for the seed color, and this is for the flower position, and this is for the pod shape. So, in this chromosome also, this is for the height, and this is for the flower color, this is for the seed color, and these genes are for the flower position, and this is also for the pod shape. These genes are located in a particular position in the chromosomes, no? So that location in which the genes for a particular trait are positioned, are located, is known as locus. It's known as locus. Now here see, this gene is responsible for the expression of height. So what does this gene contains? This gene contains a segment of DNA molecules. A segment of DNA molecules. And these DNA molecules can code a protein or can code for the synthesis of a protein in the cell. And these proteins helps to express the particular character height. Okay, that is how the characteristics are expressed in a character, in an organism. So these pair of chromosomes, which are similar in their size and structure, and also they carry the genes responsible for the similar or same character, are called as homologous chromosomes. Here, in this homologous chromosomes, both the chromosomes contains the gene, that is the first gene, which is responsible for the character height. Here, in this chromosome, so many genes are there, and the first gene is responsible for expressing the character height. Then, in the homologous chromosome, this homologous chromosome of this pair also contains the genes responsible for that position, particular position. It also contains the genes responsible for the same character, that is height. So this is a pair of genes responsible for the same character. So such pair of genes which codes for a protein, for expressing similar physical character or trait, are known as alleles. So what are alleles? The alleles are the genes or the pair of genes which are present in the homologous chromosomes, which codes for the protein for expressing the similar physical trait or character. It is called as allele. So this is the allele of this gene, and this is the allele of this gene. You can say that this. But even though these genes are similar for a similar character, they do not have to, each allele do not have to produce or encode proteins for similar traits. The character may be same, but the traits may be different. So this allele is from the mother, and this allele is from the father. So from the mother, the genes may express the height, that is character of height, that is dwarfness. And the father, the allele from the father may express the character height as tallness. So this allele is responsible for the tallness, and this allele is responsible for the dwarfness. Sometimes both these alleles may be responsible, or they may be expressing tallness. And sometimes both these alleles may be expressing the dwarfness. So alleles are the pair of genes responsible for the same character, but may be of two contrasting traits. Now, these genes are of two types: dominant gene and recessive gene. See, in this picture, you can see a homologous chromosome, a pair of homologous chromosome, and here I have marked the presence of genes. So, like we earlier discussed, that this gene, if we consider this gene for, or this alleles, a pair of alleles are for height. This is a homologous pair of chromosomes. And I have marked here three sets of genes, or three alleles of genes. One may be for height, Other may be for flower color, or this can be for seed color in pea plants. So, and this chromosome is from the male parent and this chromosome will be from the female parent. If both the genes are present, both the genes are same in these homologous chromosomes, then we consider height. If we consider height as the character, both are coding for this particular character. But which are two traits of height, tall and dwarf. Tall and dwarf. Sometimes this chromosome or this allele may be coding for the tallness and this allele may be coding for the dwarfness. So, and sometimes this will be coding for the tallness and this also will be coding for the tallness. Tallness and both are for tallness. Sometimes this allele may be coding for dwarfness and this also will be coding for dwarfness. So, then what will be expressed? Which trait will be expressed in this particular plant? If both the alleles produce the proteins for tallness and if both the alleles produce the proteins for dwarfness. With no doubt we can say that this are for both tallness, so the organism will show the tallness. And this for dwarfness and the organism will show the dwarfness, will be short. In case of this, one is for tallness and another is for dwarfness, then what will be expressed? See, if it comes like this also, what will be expressed? The tallness will be expressed. What will be expressed? The tall, the plant will be tall, the tallness will be expressed. And this, the gene which is expressed in the presence of an alternative gene, then also this character is expressed. Then that gene is called as dominant gene. It's called as dominant gene. And the gene which is suppressed, okay, the gene which is suppressed and which is not allowed to express, it can be called as the recessive gene. Called as the recessive gene. This is called as the dominant gene and this is called as the recessive gene. Okay, see here, these dominant genes are represented by capital letter of the alphabets and the recessive genes are represented by the corresponding small letters. Here, for the tallness, we can represent the tallness as capital T and dwarfness as the corresponding letter should be there, small t. So here, this can be represented as capital T, small t. So one tall gene and one other dwarf gene. And this can be represented as capital T, because both the genes, both the alleles are showing the dominant type. And this can be represented as small t, because both these alleles are showing the dwarfness. So three ways we can represent the. So the dominant genes are the genes which decides the appearance of the organism, even in the presence of an alternative gene. And the genes which are suppressed by the dominant genes or masked by the dominant genes and is expressed only in the presence of two recessive alleles are called as recessive genes. The dominant genes are represented by the capital letter and the recessive genes are represented by the small letter. Now, we can study about the phenotype and genotype. What do you mean by the phenotype and the genotype? The phenotype means the physical appearance of an organism. Here you can see two pea plants. I have drawn here two pea plants. One is tall and one is dwarf. And one is having the pink flower and other is having the white flower. So this is the physical appearance of this organism. This is what we say the phenotype of an organism. Now, what do you mean by genotype then? See, in these pea plants, who determines the height or tallness and dwarfness, and who determines the production of pink flowers and production of white flowers in this plant? That is the gene who determines the physical appearance of these plants, of these organisms. So that determination of genes for a physical character or physical appearance is known as the genotype. It is called as the genotype. So genotype is the description of genes in an organism responsible for the characterization, for expressing a particular character. This is a tall plant. We can represent this tall plant as capital T. Okay. So homologous chromosomes are there. So the genes are seen in pairs. So how will we represent? We can represent it as pairs. And this is the short plant. How we can represent it? We can represent it as small t, small t. So you understood? I hope you understood what is phenotype, what is genotype, what is recessive genes, and what is dominant genes, etc.
In the next video, we can study about the Mendel's experiments on pea plants.